Suntory HD will strengthen wage increases and human resources. Investment in 2024. Suntory Holdings HD has decided to raise monthly wages by approximately 7%. The same level as in 2023, in 2024. Including a base raise bear that will raise the base salary across the board. President Takeshi Niinami made this announcement in an interview with the Nihon Keizai Shimbun on the 20th. This is the second consecutive year of wage increases following the 23rd year. During the spring labor management negotiations in 2013, we implemented a monthly discount of 10,000 yen for the first time in 5 years since 2018. Targeting approximately 7,000 employees, including those at Suntory Foods International. The wage increase rate, including regular salary increases, was 7%, which was higher than the 5% that the coalition was seeking. Regarding the wage increase in 2024, Mr. Niinami said, "The image is a 3% bear. As employees are worried about high prices, it is important to have the predictability to communicate your intention to increase wages to employees as early as possible. Inflation is not temporary, but from 2 to 3%. We need to think about wage increases with the understanding that there is a possibility that wages will increase by 3% on a permanent basis. We are also considering the payment of a special lump sum allowance. And we plan to increase the starting salary for university graduates in 2024 by more than 28,000 yen. From 2023 to a level of over 260,000 yen. Furthermore, we plan to invest in human resources. The company has announced its intention to provide generative AI artificial intelligence training to all employees over the age of 50. At Suntory HD and its subsidiary Suntory Beverage and Food, approximately 2,100 people will be eligible for the training, which will be held from November to December. We aim to reskill experienced seniors through examples of in-house use of ChatGPT. Mr. Niinami says, know-how for people over 50 is extremely important. In this era of 100-year lifespans, I want them to learn as well, while contributing to improving the level of our company's Generation AI. For the full fiscal year 2023, Suntory HD's sales revenue, equivalent to sales, is expected to increase 5% year-on-year to 3.12 trillion yen, the highest ever, and net profit is expected to increase 3% year-on-year to 140 billion yen. Tourism industry recovery from the coronavirus pandemic. Small and medium-sized enterprises across the country reach the highest level, having overcome the effects of the new coronavirus. Business conditions for small and medium-sized businesses that support tourist destinations across the country have reached the highest level. According to the Business Conditions Survey by the Japan Small and Medium Enterprises and Regional Innovation Agency, the number of respondents who said business conditions in the accommodation and restaurant industry, which is closely related to tourism, is good, exceeded 20% for the first time in the April to June period, and remained the same in the July to September period. The rate was in the 30% range in 7 prefectures, led by Yamanashi Prefecture. This survey was conducted quarterly among approximately 18,000 companies nationwide, of which results were extracted from approximately 1,900 companies. In the lodging and restaurant industry, the survey targets businesses with a capital of 50 million yen or less, or 100 or fewer regular employees, and allows us to understand the business status of businesses that provide food and beverages and hospitality that are unique to the region and differ from the nation's major companies. The percentage of companies with good business conditions was 23.0% in the April to June period, and 21.4% in the July to September period, the highest since April to June 1994, when data can be traced back. The business conditions D, which is calculated by subtracting the percentage of respondents who answered bad from good, is still below the surface at -4.4 for the July to September period, but it is also rapidly rising. By prefecture, Yamanashi Prefecture had the highest rate of good in the July to September period at 35.3%. Shizuoka Prefecture, Nagasaki Prefecture, Niigata Prefecture, Hokkaido, etc. also exceeded 30%. In addition to the recovery in domestic flow of people, the rapid recovery in inbound tourists, foreign visitors to Japan due to the relaxation of border measures 1 year ago in October 2022, is leading to an improvement in the economic situation. According to Fujikyuko, the number of passengers getting on and off the line from April to September 2023 exceeded the record high for the same period in 2019 at major stations on the Fujikyuko line, which runs through Yamanashi Prefecture and is known as the closest railway to Mt. Fuji. Stations such as Kawaguchiko Station, Fujikawaguchiko Town, were crowded with tourists from Europe and America even in early October. Yamanashi Prefecture was one of the first in 2020 to introduce a certification system for infectious disease control for lodging facilities and restaurants that were hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic. The brand of peace of mind will take root, said a prefectural official. The number of overnight guests in Shizuoka Prefecture, including inbound tourists, is about 20% higher than last year. In Atami City, the number of guests at one point dropped to nearly half of pre-coronavirus levels. But the number of guests has rapidly returned. Even during the coronavirus pandemic, the city has continued to promote itself, including exhibiting at travel fairs in Taiwan. And what we have been preparing for has blossomed, said Shuji Tatemi, deputy director of the city's tourism and construction department. The Nishi Kyushu Shinkansen contributes to Nagasaki Prefecture. The number of passengers in the first year since its opening in September 2022 was approximately 2.42 million, which exceeded the number of passengers on conventional lines during the same period 4 years ago. The prefecture has extended its nationwide travel support program to the end of September, with the exception of the summer vacation period, called a heart-breathing journey in Nagasaki. We encouraged customer attraction by offering discounts of up to 5,000 yen per night on travel fees. The percentage of companies with good business conditions varies by up to 4 times by prefecture. Yuji Shinada, senior researcher at the Shinkin Central Bank Regional and Small and Medium Enterprise Research Institute, believes that business conditions for tourism-related small and medium-sized enterprises will remain strong for some time as the number of inbound travel destinations expands. But restaurants that are shortening their business hours due to labor shortages. Some hotels are unable to open some guest rooms. Improving employee conditions and investing in IT, information technology will determine the future. Rising food costs. Engel's coefficient reaches its highest level in 40 years. Due to rising prices, the proportion of food expenditures in consumer spending is increasing. The Engel coefficient, which indicates this, exceeded 26%, reaching a level not seen in 40 years. The Consumer Price Index for September shows that prices for food, including fresh produce, increased by 9.0% compared to the same month last year, remaining high. The spread of wage increases is slow, and the weakness in consumption is likely to persist. Food sales increased by 9.0% compared to the same month last year, an increase from 8.6% in August. Due to poor vegetable growth due to the intense heat, the positive margin was the first in 47 years since September 1976, when it was 9.1%. If food prices continue for a long time, there is a possibility that prices will approach 1983 levels even in 2023. Since food costs are a consumption item that is essential to daily life, an increase in Engel's coefficient is generally considered to indicate a decline in living standards. Although the wage increase rate in the 2023 spring labor management negotiations was the highest rate of increase in 30 years, household budgets are shrinking due to the reduction in wages due to rising prices. According to the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare's monthly labor statistics, real wages per employee preliminary figures for establishments with 5 or more employees in August decreased by 2.5% compared to the same month last year, marking the 17th consecutive month of decline. The Liberal Democratic Party and the new Komeito Party are advocating benefits for low-income earners in the economic package that the government will finalize by the end of the month. Certain measures are necessary to connect signs of an end to deflation to stable growth, while protecting families in dire straits. However, it is essential to design a targeted system for support, so that it does not accelerate inflation through unchecked dissemination.